Coming right up, another fun varsity sports show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man, Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. What we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio live out at Peoria Centennial Park for the Arizona Wings Festival. That's right. There is a festival dedicated to chicken wings out in Peoria. It is an amazing festival. I can already feel and smell the grills. And what an amazing, if you're a wings aficionado like I am, this is the place to be. We are live. I am joined by my broadcast partners for today from Grand Canyon University, Tyler Hautala, and from Arizona State University's Cronkite School of Mass Communication, Ben Munaweera. And we also are joined by the organizer event, Jason. We're going to have him have a seat here. And Tyler, Ben, how you guys doing today?
We're doing good. It's good morning, everyone. Here at the Wing Festival, like we just mentioned, it's going to be a good day, Getting to talk to the organizer here in just a couple seconds. Ben, how's it going for you?
It's absolutely beautiful out here. I can already smell everything, just like Vince said, and it's making me hungry already.
Yeah. So we're here with the organizer, Jason. So how long have you been doing this organization for the Wing Festival?
Yeah, thank you for having us. So this is our second year. Our first year we did it before COVID. So we do a lot of variety of food festivals. So this is just one of our themes. So the Fried Chicken Festival and Wings Festival happening today.
So of all things to have for a festival, you can make it after a mascot or any other type of food, but why wings?
Yeah, we chose wings because, all of our festivals are about showcasing local businesses, and more importantly, each business has part of their culture to share. So we have Taiwanese style, we have jerk chicken. So kind of the idea is we just took something that everyone commonly loves and then try to showcase behind it all the different vendors' cultures. So, chicken wings are chicken wings all throughout the world, but all taste a little bit different depending on the culture.
So going back to the topic we were just talking about with local vendors and vendors all coming across the state to this event, how many vendors do you usually have coming to events like this? And around how many people do you have coming to events like this in past events?
Yeah, so we're expecting about 1,000 people today. So on average, our events have about 1,000, and then we have about 20 different local food vendors. So today we'll have about 17 different ice cream and as well as chicken wing vendors.
So the event out here going from 10 to 4 today, out here on Saturday, April 20th. Are there any other days for the event? Are people able to come by after today? Or
today is the only day, April 20th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Peoria Centennial Plaza. We'll be trying to do this as an annual event. So if all your listeners, if they want to come today, all they have to do is say, "I love wings" at the ticket booth, and they'll get in for free.
So with the event, like you had mentioned, you have different types of wings, this and that. what personally, like, what is your favorite kind of wings going to events like this? I know everyone has, like, their preference. What would be your favorite?
My favorite is the lemongrass grilled wings. So it's a little bit sour and sweet. So I kind of like the lemongrass grilled wings. We have a Filipino food vendor who's creating that style today.
Sounds good.
So it sounds like you definitely have a lot of support. Like you said, it's all about the community. It's all about the vendors. How are you advertising this beforehand? How are you getting a hold of all of these people?
Yeah, so we just do a lot of Facebook and Instagram. So kind of our business is a platform to kind of show the different, so, you know, the local businesses on Facebook, Instagram, and then we kind of do flyers and pass them all throughout the valley.
So you had mentioned this is your second year doing this event. Going back to the first time you did this event, what was that like doing the first event here?
Yeah, first event was actually in downtown Phoenix before COVID. So we did in downtown Phoenix, and it was actually a really great turnout. A lot more people than we expected. So unfortunately, because of COVID hit, we just haven't done events since then. So now we just decided to bring back these events because at the end of the day, they're really a platform for these small businesses to kind of grow and for people to kind of connect with these local restaurants.
So basing off of the last thing you just said there, it's all about the businesses and trying to get them to grow. What specifically are you telling them beforehand to really capture the idea of what this means to them going forward?
Yeah, so I kind of try to tell them is, you know, some of them are restaurants, some of them are food trucks, and, you know, really try to create one menu item that highlights either your culture, the thing you want to showcase, and kind of bring something new to the event so that people can try different things and then kind of connect with their business. Because if they're a restaurant, sometimes, you know, they have their same old menu, so this is the opportunity to be creative. You could try different menus that maybe you normally wouldn't want to do at your restaurant, but here's the chance to do so at an event.
So like you were saying, with restaurants and food trucks all coming out here, just how big is the event going to be for some of these smaller restaurants, like you mentioned, the food trucks? Because I know in previous years with other food trucks like this, they get so big that they create their own restaurant based off the food truck that they created. So with the event like this, how much popularity do you think some of these food trucks will get?
Yeah, so I think it's all about each business trying to grow in size. So actually, one of our vendors who wasn't able to come here, actually, she opened up a shop in Tucson. So she used to have a food truck for the last 5 years, kind of been always doing our events. Unfortunately, she can't make it out today is because she actually opened a restaurant in Tucson in April, but she's going to look to try to manage both restaurant and food trucks. So that's kind of what we want to see, so that some make the jump to having a restaurant just because of people recognize their brand name, recognize their food, and enjoy it.
That's really awesome.
So, as you mentioned, COVID unfortunately derailed you guys from doing this in years prior. It's great to see that you guys are back out here. This is great, but what's the next step after this? Can you imagine this event getting on a grander scale?
Yeah, so I think what we're trying to do is trying to do different varieties of food themes. So maybe next time we won't do a fried chicken and wings festival. You know, we'll probably maybe do like a noodles festival and kind of just expand because some of these are our same vendors. More opportunities for them to grow and kind of do different themes. We wouldn't want to do a fried chicken festival every month, so kind of shake it up a little bit, do different themes to attract people to come.
So like you had mentioned, your last event was in downtown Phoenix, and today it's currently at Central Park in Peoria. What other places are you thinking about having an event like this at?
Yeah, so we've always wanted to do an event in the Central, West, and East, so we've actually done events in all locations. So kind of in the future, we might thinking about doing on the East side, like in Chandler, but we've always done kind of events in West. It would be nice to have one in West, East, and Central as we kind of rotate them.
Are the cities that you guys are running these events in typically, is it well received, or is it a hassle to kind of get this going, or is it really easy?
Yeah, it's really easy with the city of Peoria. They have a wonderful park here. It's nice and green, on-site restrooms. Yeah, so it's really easy to work with the different cities. We kind of just chose Peoria because kind of, I guess you can call it centrally located in the West Valley.
So with the central Phoenix location that you did back a couple years ago, you said that the location was, big and you had a lot of vendors coming out. Are you expecting the same result today and for future upcoming events?
Kind of we're expecting today maybe a little bit less. It is kind of hot. I didn't expect it to be this hot today. Was hoping it would be more in the 80s, but today, unfortunately, it's kind of in the 90s. So I think in the future, we might try to do the event either at night or maybe a little bit earlier, so kind of attract more people to come. It is starting to get to Arizona heat.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, so that was Jason here, the event organizer out here in Peoria, Arizona. So thanks for coming, Jason.
Yeah, it was lovely to have you, man.
Hey, that was cool. You know, I am so excited. I'm hungry. Jason, thank you so much. What an event. What a day. Thanks for having us out. We got the whole stage to ourselves today. There's an ice cream truck over there. So you mentioned getting a little warm out. We can go over and get some ice cream when this thing is done. The gates open at 10 o'clock, guys. Come on out to Centennial Park in Peoria, 9875 North 85th Drive. It's real easy to get to. Like Jason said, it's centrally located in the West Valley. What a day. The vendors are all here. People have smiles on their faces. It's starting to develop some people starting to kind of congregate near the entrance. There's going to be probably a line around the corner. I mean, who doesn't love chicken wings, for gosh sakes? This is quite an event, and they hope to do more of this stuff. And there's a bit of an Asian theme as well. I love this stuff. I am just infatuated with wings. It is. I got to tell you, when I was in college, we used to go to a place on Dorsey and Broadway. It was called the Native New Yorker. Now it's called Native Wings or something. 10-cent wings on Tuesday nights when you ordered a soft drink. So $2 plus 10 cents, however many wings you can have. This was back a few years, obviously. They're not that cheap anymore. But you would get a plate full and of all different kinds, hot, suicide, whatever. I mean, honey, barbecue, all different. It was really good. I'm getting hungry now. So anyway, guys, we got a great rest of the show. Vince here with Tyler and Ben. We're going to turn it over to our very own Alex Medina, who's going to talk about a young lady that's had some success, high school wrestling in the state of New Mexico. Take it away, Aaron.
Good morning. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I'm a sports journalism student from ASU Cronkite. What started off as a casual interest during freshman year of high school turned into a life-changing hobby. Candelaria's wrestling journey began at Volcano Vista High School in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it did not take long for Candelaria to realize her burning passion for wrestling. Candelaria placed in the New Mexico State Championship as a high school athlete and has achieved a lot of accomplishments throughout her wrestling journey. The head coach of Volcano Vista, Aaron Griego, pushed for Candelaria to continue her wrestling career after high school. Near the end of Candelaria's senior year, recruiters had all eyes on the athlete. Candelaria received a phone call from Kyle Sand, the head coach at Adams State University, and offered the high school athlete an official visit to the school. Candelaria has had to overcome multiple struggles during her athletic career. Recently, Candelaria suffered a back injury. What could be the end for some only fueled Candelaria even more to get back onto the mat. After Candelaria went on the official visit, she was left with one last step, accepting the scholarship offer. Candelaria wasted no time before she decided to sign with Adams State.
Seeing my team go out and wrestle and do well, it kind of made me become more grateful for where I am, because a lot of the girls don't have this opportunity, and I could go back to wrestling. It's not it's just gone. I'm gonna get back out there and be fine.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060. I am Alexandra Medina reporting.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Tyler Hautala, and Ben Munaweera. We are out at Centennial Park in Peoria off of 85th and, near Olive. I think just north of Olive here, 85th Avenue. It's beautiful, the stage. We got some nice shade going here. It's nice and cool, little breeze coming in. We're here for the Arizona Wings Festival. Come on out. And the gates open at 10 o'clock. We're here till 11. Come over, say hi, or don't, but just come in. Good stuff. And when you mention I love wings at the gate, you get in for free. And then you can apply that money saved at the gate to buying more wings. So, guys, when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by our old friend, Thunderbird Titans baseball coach Mike Jacobs, here on the Varsity Sports Show. Once again, Vince, Tyler, and Ben. We're hanging out this morning, doing a show, and I think it's entertaining. I think we're going to have a good time with it. Come on out, as I said, Arizona Wings Festival, or just keep listening and start your weekend off with a smile. We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Ben Munaweera here with Tyler Hautala out here in Peoria, Arizona at the Wing Festival, joined here by Thunderbird baseball coach Mike Jacobs. Mike, how you doing this morning?
Hey guys, good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So Mike, this last week, you guys had 4 games this week. You went 2-2, and in those last 2 games, you guys outscored your opponents 31-9, beating Shadow Mountain 16-9 on Wednesday. And against Greenway on Thursday, you guys won 15-0. What went well in those 2 wins for you guys?
Well, we were fortunate in the Shadow Mountain game. We actually scored the majority of those runs in the 7th inning. We were losing 10-4, and we had some good quality at bats throughout the lineup. We ended up scoring 12 runs in the 7th inning. So that was a huge win for us there. And then we turned back around with one of our just crossroad rivals, Greenway High School. So it's always been a great rivalry between Greenway and Thunderbird. So no matter what's going on in the season, you always want to bring your A game for that. And our Thunderbird boys definitely showed up. So we had Matt Hornberg pitch a great game on the mound, and just some really good offensive performances at the plate by him as well. And Anderson, Austin Coates had great days at the dish. So it just it really clicked together, and we get to face him again on Monday.
So, Coach, like you said, you have a game Monday. It's also senior night. What is something this team has meant to you throughout the season? What's something that you want to tell your seniors as it comes to the last game this upcoming Monday?
I have a really wonderful group of seniors that have been in the program for 4 years, and they just have showed up every day with a great mindset and attitude towards improving, and their work ethic is something that I always have commended them for. It makes it fun to come to the field every day.
So, Coach, I've been to a couple of your guys' games here. We've covered it for our show here. And one thing I've wanted to know that I've noticed at my time there is that in between the innings, you got your boys running out there with the baseball bat with a little dinosaur head on that. What's the story behind that?
So last year on our trip to Yuma High School, we stopped off in Gila Bend at the gas station there that most people are notorious for stopping at. And, let the boys have their few minutes to go in and get the things they wanted. And one of our quality relief pitchers, Patrick Ramon, exits the gas station with a dinosaur head, like you said, talking dinosaur head. They ended up naming it Hector. So it's been a fun kind of thing to motivate us, and they've had a really enjoyable time. This year they actually paired it with another purple, I think, dinosaur that they picked up on our trip to Yuma this year. So now we're twofold with the dinosaur props that are always ready to make an appearance, and they do that in between innings. Yes, they run down the field foul line just to say hot, and they always bring Hector with.
So, Coach, we have previously mentioned that we are at the AZ Wing Festival currently at Central Park from 10 to 4. Just on the topic of that, what's your favorite kind of wings to have just in general, whether it be during the football season, just for fun at a restaurant or anything like that?
Oh, I think just your traditional bone-in, probably hot and a barbecue. I would be fine with half and half of those and a little bit of blue cheese or ranch, and we're good to go.
Coach, one more quick thing coming up, just to kind of probe you here. With the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs coming up, I was just curious. I wanted to gauge your fandom here. Who are you rooting for and who are you pulling for this postseason?
Well, I'm a born and raised Phoenician, so I'm always going to bleed purple and orange and red and black for the Cardinals. So, I'd like to see some improvements, obviously, on the NFL side. Me and my dad have been season ticket holders since the stadium had opened, and a huge Suns fan, so it's great to see them starting to play their best ball right now at the end of the year. Bradley Beal being healthy, and it should be a good matchup with the Timberwolves in the first round.
It'll be a good matchup indeed. Well, that's all the time we have right now, Coach. Thank you again for coming on the show and talking about your team and the future that you have coming up for your team in the future. I think we'll be cutting the break pretty shortly, but thank you again for coming on the show for the Varsity Sports Show.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.
Right.
Thanks, Coach.
That was Coach Mike Jacobs out of the Thunderbird Titans. He's currently the head coach for the varsity team there. Had a lovely time talking to him. We'll be coming up to break pretty shortly. He had mentioned he's a huge Cardinals and Suns fan. That's awesome that, Phoenix, Arizona out here talking about Suns like that, and especially with everything coming up the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Tyra. Lots of great time. It's an exciting time to be an Arizona sports fan. With the D-backs, Suns got a high pick, Cardinals got a high pick, Suns in the playoffs. It's an exciting time, Tyler.
Yeah, so we'll be cutting the break pretty shortly, but again, we're here at the AZ Wing Festival on 8975 North 85th Drive, Peoria Central Park from 10 to 4. Come to the gate mentioned I Love Wings, and you'll have free admission to come try any of the wings here. Ben, do you have anything you want to say before we cut to break?
Go Varsity.
All right, yep. So we'll be cutting a break just shortly. And again, you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Let's take it to our East Coast report with Alex Shulman giving us a rodeo report. Take it away, Aaron.
The Midwest Report.
This is Angelo Scaturro with the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for Varsity Sports Show. During this past women's college basketball season, the world was shocked when they saw a young forward from Iowa break multiple records. From being only the third player in her school's history to have her jersey number retired, to winning AP Player of the Year 2 times in a row, and let's not forget her big milestone by becoming Iowa's all-time leading scorer, the all-time leading scorer in Big Ten history, and becoming the all-time leader in points among major women's college basketball players. Yes, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark. With this past season being her senior year, the entire world of women's basketball was waiting anxiously to see or hear of Clark's next moves in her basketball career. On February 29th, she announced through social media that she is declaring for the upcoming WNBA draft.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
With Clark being the first overall pick, she is staying in the Midwest in Indiana as she embarks on a brand new chapter in her basketball career. The Fever will open their season on Tuesday, May 14th against the Phoenix Sun. From Varsity Sports Show, Angelo Scaturro reporting.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davis Noble from Grand Canyon University, here to tell y'all about an awesome event this weekend in the Midwest. The Big Bass Bash is coming to the Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. For all you fishers out there, this is one of the best bass events there is. There is over $330,000 worth of total payout, with $144,000 of that being in bi-hourly payments. So how this works is April 20th through 21st, Fishers from across the Midwest come to Lake of the Ozarks and try to catch the biggest bass possible. There are 4 time slots throughout the 6:30 through 3 o'clock day where fishers can weigh in their bass. 45th place can make up to $200 per slot, while first place winners get $1,500. When the tournament comes to a close Sunday afternoon, all fishers will meet at the Grand Glaze State Park for the trophy presentation and final weigh-ins. The person who has the largest and heaviest bass overall will win $100,000. 4th place overall can still win $5,000. This tournament only happens a few times a year and is always a great time with tons of sponsors, donations, raffles, and full of people who love to fish. Registration only costs $200 for both days as well. It's that time of the year where bass are hungry, so what are you waiting for? This is Davis Noble from GCU. Enjoy the Big Bass Bash.
The Midwest Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince, Tyler, and Ben out at Centennial Park in Peoria, 85th Drive, just north of Olive. Beautiful facility here, and it's today. The reason why we're here actually is I want to try and get some free lunch, but we're actually working. We're here promoting the Arizona Wings Festival. Wings galore, chicken wings and other vendors. There's a couple ice cream trucks, frozen ice here. So don't worry if it seems like it's a little hot. Come on out anyway, a little warm, because you got stuff that's going to heat up your tongue a little bit as well as cool it down. You can combine the two and have a perfect day. You'll be in euphoria, in a euphoric state. We're going to also we'll be joined by some vendors throughout the show, kind of promoting what they're doing and why they're here and why this is such a fun event. So come on out. We're here till 11, but the event's going till 4 o'clock. And if you mention I love wings at the gate, you get in for free. So you take more of that money and apply it toward buying such a perfect food. Guys, big news going on in sports. There's a couple big things happening here in Arizona, but the biggest thing I think right now, would you agree, is Phoenix Suns playoffs starting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Give us some previews here.
Well, today the Suns are starting their 7-game series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You know, historically and as of late this season especially, the Suns have owned the Timberwolves. Would you agree, Tyler?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've seen them beat them the past couple of times in the matches they had the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you know, when you got guys like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal starting to look like they're finally clicking, especially Beal, because that was the biggest one throughout the entire season. You know, he was hurt, not performing well, not shooting well, but now it's starting to look like it's clicking. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree, and especially, you know, after the Suns beating the Timberwolves, you know, last week, beating them 125 to 106, you know, that's a huge thing the Suns need going in. You know, going in, people didn't know if they were going to be in the play-in or if they were going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
But winning the last 7 of their 8 games is a remarkable feat for the Suns to accomplish, especially going into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And, you know, when you got teams like, you know, OKC, Minnesota, and Denver, you know you got to go through one of them eventually. Why not get through one of them that you know you can already beat right away and go on from there?
Exactly. And, you know, like you mentioned, it's playoffs. You have to go through OKC, the Nuggets, and all this, but it's playoffs. We saw it last year. The Suns were the only team to beat the Nuggets in 2 games. I mean, anything is possible, especially for the Suns team now that they're all clicking together like you had just mentioned. Beal's playing well, Booker's playing well, KD's playing well. They just re-signed the guard. I can't remember his name right now.
Isaiah Thomas?
There's another guy. I can't remember his name. But, you know, Grayson Allen, yeah. And they, you know,
you're right. Yeah.
It's a huge thing right now because they want to play up to that potential and go to the chip and keep that momentum going forward into the next season.
Absolutely. But let's talk about the matchup specifically. You know, for the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is emerging into that all-NBA kind of guy, already doing so. Rudy Gobert is looking like a lock for Defensive Player of the Year. Karl Anthony Towns is coming back. This is a really good and well-built team, Tyler. What are your expectations for this series?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people think the Suns are going to beat them in, 5 games or so, but I think it's going to be a 7-game streak.
All right, there you have it. That's our official Suns Timberwolves talk today. Joining us after the break is Saguaro baseball coach Joe Muecke. Thanks for tuning in. We are out here at the Peoria Wing Festival. Go Varsity.
Interact with Bob Kim's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kent's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hello everyone, my name is Kendall Flynn and I am a junior studying sports journalism with a minor in Spanish at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I have been in and around sports my whole life and I'm thrilled to show my passion for sports with the Varsity Media Foundation as a social media manager and technical director this spring.
Extra Point with local and national topics, betting lines, and banter. Weekdays 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and the KDUS 1060 app.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Muecke. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. We are currently live at the AZ Wing Festival at Peoria Central Park. We are here with Saguaro baseball head coach Joe Muecke. Coach, how's it going?
Fantastic, beautiful Saturday morning. Just enjoying great practice that we just wrapped up.
Oh, awesome. So you guys are currently playing St. Mary's this upcoming Monday, and you guys beat them on April 17th, 6-1. Monday's obviously senior night. You know, what's the expectation going into this game and with playoffs around the corner?
Yeah, it's a balance, just recognizing our seniors who have given so much to our program. So it's a nice day to recognize them and their commitment. But we still have a task at hand, and so it definitely is still trying to make sure we stick to our game plan and execute and finish a really pretty special regular season.
Coach, your game plan seems to be working because the last time you lost a game was over a month ago when you lost 21-4 to Castile. But since then, you've gone on a 13-game win streak, scoring as high as 14 runs against Shadow Mountain in that period. What's been working so well for you guys this last month?
I'm playing really good baseball. We've had some really great pitching performances as recently as Friday, right? We had a combined no-hitter. These pitchers have been throwing the ball really well. And we just have a good plan in the box. Our hitters have had a really good approach, trying to just stay within themselves. And so we've definitely just found that balance of just playing good baseball and just rowing for each other. And that's a fun way to watch these guys go compete each inning and each day.
So, Coach, like we just mentioned, you guys are currently 22-3 and undefeated in your conference right now. Currently ranked 5th in the state of Arizona. How does that feel for the team like you've coached, especially with that momentum carrying into playoffs?
It's a great feeling. I mean, this is what you do this for, is to have this type of success. It's one of those things that we talk about, staying humble, because it's easy to get wrapped up in the stats and the rankings. But it's just understanding that it's hard to get to the top and it's harder to stay there. And so if you have the right mindset and you have that like win the day approach of 1% better, you're really just staying with your process. And so it's a great feeling for the program. Love that these boys get those types of recognitions for their hard work, because it's really about them. But at the same time, you also know everybody's coming for the top spot. And so we have to kind of prepare accordingly and not take that day off and just rest on what's got us here. It's continuing to push that ceiling.
Coach Muecke, as we mentioned, we're out here at Peoria Centennial Park out here in the West Valley, here for the Chicken Wing Festival. Muecke, I got to ask you, what's your favorite go-to wing?
Oh, man, there's a couple really good spots, but my classic is I'm a big fan of a little extra crispy, definitely with a golden medium sauce. I definitely had some of those actually as recently as last night. So I love a good wing, and it sounds like you're in the place I'd like to be. So that would be my order if I were able to conjure one up.
So, Coach, I think the most important question for the wings is, are you a bone-in guy or are you a boneless guy?
I think it depends on the day, but I really like the bone-in. I think I'm a little bit more old school in that way, definitely how they kind of were created, and so I'm more of the bone-in style if you gave me my preference. But if I always get a good boneless wing doesn't go bad. It's just I had a preference to be bone-in.
Coach, I know you're a baseball coach, but today is round one of the NBA playoffs. We got the NFL draft next week. Where does your fandom lie? Who are you rooting for, and what are you hoping for next Thursday?
I'm a big Arizona guy. I love to see the Suns finishing their season strong, and so I'm really excited to watch some Suns basketball this afternoon, this evening. And I'm also a hockey guy. It's probably my favorite sport, truthfully. Really bittersweet that we've lost that franchise to another state, but I think there's some really good hockey getting ready to get started here, and so my next team up would probably be the Maple Leafs, just based on some alignage with some players on our team who are from the Canadian area. So I definitely am pulling for the Maple Leafs probably in round one, and it's just fun to watch. Anytime you get into playoffs, and much like ourselves, you just watch the next level of sport really pick up, and the hyper-focus each shift and each possession. And much like us, it's each pitch. So this time of year is really exciting as a fan, and then as a coach, you just watch these guys really step their game and their process up. And so it's a really exciting weekend ahead as a sports fan and as a baseball coach.
Well, Coach, that's all the time we have again, and good luck with the rest of the season going into the playoffs. Again, this is Saguaro Baseball head coach Joe Mickey. If you guys want to come to the game Monday, it'll be at the Saguaro Baseball Field. We're currently at the AZ Wing Festival at Peoria Centennial Park. Again, thank you for coming on the show, Coach.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm going to give a shout-out real quick to my little Rugrats at home, Mila and Lou. They are my biggest fans, and little Sabercat. So thank you so much for having me.
Hey, Coach, this little Rugrat over here wishes you all the best. I'm looking forward. We're going to be doing the show Lord willing, we'll be doing it out at your place next Saturday. So let's keep winning, huh?
Can't wait to have you out, Vince. Always love it, and thanks for all you guys do. It's always appreciated.
Awesome. Aaron, take it away.
The East Coast Report.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alex Schulman with the University of Arizona, bringing you your East Coast Rodeo Report. The Big Dog Pro Rodeo starts Friday night and will continue until Saturday night. The rodeo takes place in Marianna, Florida this weekend and is sanctioned by the PCA, or the Professional Cowboy Association. The rodeo will be held at Circle D Ranch and will begin with performances at 7:30 with slack to follow. There will be $500 added to each event, and the rodeo will include the regular rodeo events: bareback riding, barrel racing, breakaway roping, bull riding, calf roping, saddle bronc riding, steer wrestling, and team roping. The two-day rodeo will bring contestants from the surrounding East Coast areas for a chance to add money to their career earnings. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Alex Schulman reporting.
Good morning, I'm Eitan Ohana from the University of Florida, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The New York Knicks, for the first time since the 2013 season, have secured the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, and the head of this accomplishment is none other than Jalen Brunson. This season has changed the way we look at Brunson. There are no more questions about whether or not he's a bona fide star. It wasn't always like this for the 6'2" guard out of New Jersey, however. In fact, he was often overlooked. After a college career at Villanova, which saw him become a 2-time national champion, as well as a National Player of the Year, Brunson fell all the way to the second round of the NBA draft to the Dallas Mavericks. In his 4 years with the Mavericks, he worked his way up the totem pole from a second-round pick who could be a rotation player, to the second option to star Luka Doncic. At that point, Dallas had a chance to extend him on a 4-year, $55 million contract, but decided against it. Finding value elsewhere in free agency, Brunson took his talents to the New York Knicks and has since changed the direction of the franchise. From a team mired in mediocrity to one of the East's top contenders, the story of the Knicks season cannot be told without first mentioning that of the Big Apple's newest superstar, Jalen Brunson. For Varsity Sports, I'm Eitan Ohana.
The East Coast Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. We're currently at the AZ Wing Festival in Peoria Centennial Park. We have one of the vendors here currently, Big Nate's Family Barbecue, and we're taking a look at their menu. And man, they have a lot of good things, right, Ben?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sitting here just getting hungry. You know, Vince had told us just a minute ago that they offered us free food. I'm already starting to pick out what I want for lunch.
Yeah, and they have quite a menu, you know, pulled pork, turkey, brisket, pork ribs. It looks really, really good.
Absolutely. If you guys are listening, you got to come out here.
Yeah.
Once again, he said we're at Centennial Park out here in Peoria, Arizona. Mention at the gate, I love wings. You get in for free.
So now we're going to transition to the Arizona Coyotes because Joe Mickey had just brought that up and how they were leaving. You know, I know you're not from Arizona, but you are from Arizona State University where they played at currently. How does that impact you currently?
Well, I only had the opportunity to go to some ASU hockey games, not any Coyote games. But personally, as someone who's not from the state as well, only being here as a student, I can already see the impact that it's having on the people of Phoenix here and just all throughout the valley. Because we've seen hockey work in the desert before with the Golden Knights, right? So it's evident that it still works out here, and it's very evident that there's a huge passion for it out here. But unfortunately, due to a lot of complications, they decided to sell the team back to the NHL and move to Salt Lake. And as a not big hockey fan myself, I still will admit it's tragic to just look at everyone's faces and see how upset they are.
Hey, you know, like you said, looking at all the faces and seeing everything come to what it is now, it is upsetting because Coyotes have been here for almost 3 decades at this point. I mean, the very first game, they won 5-2, and just so happened the last game they played, they also won 5-2. Just kind of writing the end of their story. But yeah, you know, a lot of hockey fans that love the Coyotes are just, you know, in disbelief that this kind of thing is happening. And you mentioned like how you've seen it at Tempe. I've seen it all over social media, just people, you know, really going to miss the Coyotes as they move to Salt Lake City. And hopefully in the near future, we actually do get another hockey team coming back into Arizona. Because you mentioned that hockey in the desert still works. I mean, Salt Lake City, you have Las Vegas Golden Knights, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you know, something else that I think about is the impact that the organization had on the community out here. You know, sponsorships, events, any other kind of thing like that. And, you know, I think of leagues like the Arizona Sled Hockey, the Coyote Sled Hockey League, you know. What's going to happen to that? Are we going to rebrand? Are we just going to shut those kind of things down? So it goes beyond just watching hockey as a fan. There's a, not just economic, but like a community impact that has. So I hope that some kind of expansion team, if they're going to talk about that in the coming years, I hope that ends up being out here in the Valley.
And you had mentioned the community. So when we were going back to the last game, they had a tailgate party that they threw at a random place in Tempe, and thousands of fans showed up just to watch this last game. And, you know, of course, the ASU stadium isn't that big of a stadium, so there's not going to be a lot of places to be filled there. But seeing all the community come together for one last game is just such a big thing, especially for this organization as they move to Salt Lake City in the next coming months or year.
Yeah, and you know, the team is leaving. It's unfortunate, but everyone and their mother here in the Valley will still be pulling for them. We have Coyote fans for life all over the place. I know I'll be rooting for them now as someone who's starting to become a bit more of a hockey fella. It's sad to see, but I feel like I've gotten that grassroots fandom for hockey through them, so I'm going to be following them too.
Well, guys, we'll be cutting to break pretty shortly here. This is Tyler Hautala Ben Munaweera at the Peoria Centennial Park for the Arizona Wings Festival. We'll be cutting to break pretty shortly, but don't go anywhere as we're going to be back for the Varsity Sports Show.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, hey, this is Coach Bob Green. When I am not busier than a mosquito in a news colony, I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
All right, guys, time for an update from Mountain View Toros baseball coach Jesus Arzaga. Coach, quite a season it's been for you, and you talk about a nail-biter of a finish on the season. Now that we're within the last couple of games here of wrapping up your regular season, you're right on the bubble, and depending on what happens at Red Mountain on Monday in the season finale, it just depends. What are you thinking, Coach?
Yeah, it's been a really good season. I think even better season when you're such a young club, and you see kind of the end of the tunnel here and giving them an opportunity to be in the playoffs, which is all you ask for a young team. And even so, just as a program, that's kind of your goal ultimately, to just get in and then see what you can do from there. So we're lucky to be in the spot. It's a privilege to be where we're at, and we're even happier that, hey, we have to compete against our rival there down the street of Brown Road to try to sneak into the playoffs.
When you look at, and you talk about the youth of your squad, when you look at how adversity's been handled and how they just kind of keep bouncing back, what type of life lessons you think these guys are getting, as opposed to, and we all want a dominant team. We all want to finish undefeated and just sail through, but when you deal with a little bit of adversity, what does that show the people on your team?
I think adversity is probably the best thing that you could have just as a human being, man. I mean, you grow so much as a person. You get to see how you handle yourself when you fail, and you also get to see how you succeed when things don't go your way. So just having a good core of 6 seniors that have kind of pushed this young team across has been huge, and it's been good for us as coaches too. Last year we graduated 17 seniors. This year we're only going to graduate 6, but how good of a coaching staff do we really have? How well are we developing these kids, not only on the baseball field, but here in the next 4 years? Because, we do have 3-4 freshmen on the team that are constantly getting, at-bats and playing time. So when you talk about adversity, man, if you're able to get through that as a freshman and sophomore, you're only going to be that much better when you leave here in 4 years, which is ultimately our goal as a coaching staff is to produce college players. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully that prepares them for the next 4 years of their life.
Let's talk about the possibility, being on the bubble and the possibility of the postseason. You have a general idea of a handful of teams that you could be traveling to play in the postseason. Who are some of those teams, and How do you feel you match up?
Yeah, just looking at it, and you got Basha, you got Perry, you got Pinnacle. We could get a rematch of Red Mountain as well in there. So looking at all those teams, we talk about the possibility of baseball going and having this open. You don't in baseball, man. You just don't know. You could throw a slow thumber and beat a 92, 94 arm. So as we prepare, we always talk to our kids is make sure we get our stuff done. Whatever we have to do to prepare for that, let's prepare. And then whatever they have on the bump and whatever defense, whatever hitting they have, good for them. But you just kind of go through the game and make sure you compete while you're there. But preparation is huge. Get ready the way you get ready and play your game and hopefully you come up on top.
All right, Jesus Arzaga, head baseball coach, Mountain View Toros. We've been privileged to partner up with the Toros this season and really excited about this finish and hopefully we can continue this into the postseason. So, Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to circling back.
Vince, I appreciate you again, dude. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. This is Jon Melendez of Arizona State University, and today we're going to be giving a preview into the 2024 Track and Field State Championships for Arizona. The Arizona High School Track and Field Championships went through a revamp last year that changed the format of the tournament. Before, each division would have its own championship separated by enrollment. For the last 2 years, the tournament has consisted of one large championship meet where the state's divisional championships can now meet up and compete among other top athletes around the state. This year, Arizona is seeing several breakout athletes compete to be the very best and also potentially shatter state records that have been untouched for decades. Last year, 4 Arizona state records were broken within 1 hour at the Arcadia Invitational in Southern California on April 8th of 2023. Records in the 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles, along with the 800-meter and 400-meter run, were among the ones that were broken at that competition. Throughout the season, 7 records were broken, 3 of which are now held by Arizona State University athletes, with Saira Prince of Williamsfield High School shattering the previously mentioned 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles records, and Jaden Davis of Mountain Point shattering the 400-meter records. This year, some notable names to look out for in search of not only a championship but also a potential broken record include Josiah Anderson of Barry Goldwater High School. Anderson's current 400-meter record is at 47.62, with the state record set in place in 2009 being at 47.47. Vance Nielsen of Gilbert High School currently has a 110-meter hurdle record sitting at 13.87 seconds. The state record sits at 13.48. The girls' state records who have the highest likelihood of being broken include Naya Chade of Chandler High School, who currently sits at 11.87 seconds for the 100-meter dash. The record set by Jessica Onyepanuka of Peoria High School in 2013 sits at 11.31. And Elise Taylor is another name to look out for, as she currently holds the 300-meter hurdle record for the year at 42.33 seconds, with the record held by Christy Knorr of Chaparral High School sitting at 42.67. This has been Jonathan Melendez of Arizona State University. Thank you for listening.
Good morning. My name is Nash at Arizona State University, covering a more recent and upcoming sport in Arizona. That is high school girls beach volleyball. High school beach volleyball is a sport you don't see a whole lot of, but over the past few years, the young sport has picked up an incredible amount of credibility, as well as adding new teams each and every one of the past few years here in Arizona. The spring sport is coming up at the end of its regular season, and you know what that means, the playoffs. With the playoffs up and coming, let's take a look into what teams to look out for, as well as some of the sleeper teams in this year's girls beach volleyball playoffs. The first team I want to look at is the number 1 ranked team in Arizona, but not only that, the Sandra Day O'Connor Eagles are ranked 6th in the entire nation. The girls team is unbelievably good, being undefeated through 13 games, with just 1 game left against the Desert Vista Thunder. The Eagles have not lost a game since their inaugural season, which was in 2021. The Eagles have won the first 2 championships in the league and look to three-peat this year. One more thing worth mentioning is the Eagles at one point last year were ranked 3rd in the nation, which was the highest any Arizona girls beach volleyball team has ever been. The second team to look at is another nationally ranked team, and that is the Xavier College Prep Gators. The Gators this year are 14-1, being ranked 2nd in the state and 15th in the nation. Their one loss comes from, you guessed it, the Sandra Day O'Connor Eagles. Just to show you how good the Eagles are, they cleanly swept the Gators 5-0. Last year, the Gators were taken out by the Eagles as well in the state semifinals. If these two teams meet again, it will be in the state championship due to the teams being on the opposing side of the bracket. Finally, one last quick team to look out for is the Desert Vista Thunder. This team is ranked 10th in the state, but I add them because they are only one of 2 teams to have scored a set against the Eagles. I think they have a chance to go far like they did last year. They were kicked out of the tournament last year by the Gators in the quarterfinals, losing a close one 3-2. Look out for the AIA Girls Beach Volleyball State Playoffs coming up in the following days. With that being said, I'm Nash Darragh from Arizona State here with the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Ben Munaweera here, joined by my fellow intern, Tyler Hautala. We're out here in Peoria, Arizona at Centennial Park here for the AZ Wing Festival. So, Tyler, moving on here into this draft talk we got coming up for next week. We have a top 3 quarterback controversy here. Maybe not for number 1, but for number 2 and 3, I'd say there's a conversation to be had there. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely, and I would even argue number 1. I mean, there was a report yesterday from an anonymous head coach saying that J.J. McCarthy could be the number 1 pick, but again, that's not very believable because we all know that Caleb Williams will probably be the undisputed number 1 pick. But yeah, number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels came out and he said he's not very happy with the Washington Commanders after the interview that was just conducted just a couple days ago and how that whole thing turned out. But yeah, let's hear your side of the things with that.
Yeah, so, Washington initially had told Daniels that they were going to just interview him one-on-one, as many organizations do with their interviewees, but it turned out that they went and had all the quarterback prospects at the same time, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, all those other guys. So as a top 3 prospect, I would be a little upset too. But we all know that Daniels is going top 3 no matter what. That's just a difference of whether he's going to Washington or New England. What do you say, Tyler?
Personally, I think he's going to end up in New England. I mean, New England just has the better. It's a rebuilding. They have a new head coach, new players coming in. They just traded away Mac Jones. There's going to be a lot of switching going around with New England. And, the Washington, while they have more of a relaxed team with going into the team, but I think Drake May will fit that system better than Jaden Daniels will. And, things like that turn out all the time. I mean, we see that happen last year with Will Levis going all the way into the second round.
All good conversations. You guys can go on for hours and hours on NFL Draft Talk. Wow. When we come back from the break, we're going to be joined by Grand Canyon University Club men's lacrosse coach Jeff Guy, who just wrapped up a season. Great program that he's been building out there, and our partners at GCU Club Sports. So, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with hour number 2 from the AZ Wings Festival in Peoria. Go Varsity. Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here from the Varsity Sports Show. We are so excited and honored that you start your weekends off with us. Our team is comprised of very talented high school and college students working toward a future in media. We appreciate your support, and any opportunities that we can to promote your teams or businesses will go a long way toward helping us continue supporting our talented team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and we use our platform to not only promote all of the great things happening in the world of sports locally and nationally, but also continue to promote and encourage future broadcasters as they grow in this industry. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to the Varsity Media Foundation. To find out more, please email us at info@varsitysportshow.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Varsity Sports Show, or on Twitter at Varsity Show. Once again, thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now a nationally syndicated program on the Sports Map Radio Network. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Do another one, please. And then Mike, if you want to do another one too.
Okay, do one more. Okay, same thing. Just say, it's Bon from Zacatecas. I love the Varsity Sports Show. Or say, I listen to it every Saturday.
And don't forget to mention Mike Beal with the Beachin' with Beal.
Mike Beal, Beachin' with Beal. Hi, this is Juan from Zacatecas, and I'm listening to Varsity Sport every day. I'm here with Mike. All right, peace out.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Goldie. I'm so excited to be returning to the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As you might know, I have ASD and I love facts, stats, and info. I learned so much last semester and can't wait to dig in and share my enthusiasm for all things sports with all of you. Go Varsity!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, guys, we are joined by an old friend of our programs, Coach Jeff Guy of the GCU Club men's lacrosse program has been a significant part of our coverage of GCU Club, and he has opened up his program and allowed us access and given us an opportunity to really dig deep and get to know he and his players. And Coach, we thank you for that, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Coach, I wanted to talk about, just kind of get a snapshot overall of your season. Season just wrapped last week, and beyond the wins and losses on the year. I know a lot of folks that follow programs will use that as a guide, a measuring stick for that matter. But beyond all of that, in growth of your program, this was your 5th year leading GCU Club lacrosse. How do you think you did this year?
Well, we were a very young team. We had 4 seniors only. We had a lot of freshmen that played. The bulk of our roster were freshmen. So we had 41 guys on the roster, I believe. Between 19 and 21 of them were freshmen. So almost half the team were freshmen this past year. And we had a lot of freshmen that were on the field. So, as being a young team, it's a good and a bad thing in that you get a lot of young players experience early, but at the same time they don't have the experience at the college level. So normally on a more experienced team during the season where you have more upperclassmen, those younger players, they're developmental guys. So you're developing them through practice, developing them through the strength conditioning program. They're learning from the older guys on the team. Where this year they kind of got thrown in the fire. They had to learn with their feet to the fire most of the years. So It's hard for freshmen to kind of respond to that because they're playing out of their element. A lot of the times it being their first year at college lacrosse. But the good thing about that is that the future is bright in that, guys played well. They grew a lot, gained a lot of experience. We play one of the top schedules in the country every year. Last year, we finished with the 3rd ranked hardest schedule. The year before that, the 2nd ranked hardest schedule. This year, I don't think it's going to be any exception. I think we're going to definitely have a top 5 to top 10 or maybe even higher strength of schedule. So, our guys, our young guys, we're playing against some of the best teams in the country and some of the best players in the country. And, you develop very, very quickly, very, very rapidly and exponentially over the season. And we saw that with that growth throughout the year. Definitely a lot of younger players, most of the young players were a lot more seasoned at the end of the season. And I'm looking forward to having all those young guys come back in the fall and further developing them. And like I said, because of their experience that they had their freshman year, they're really not coming back as sophomores, even though that's what they are. They're really coming back with the experience of a junior or some experience that some seniors might have, game experience at that high level. So, we're excited for the future.
Joined by Grand Canyon University Club men's lacrosse head coach Jeff Guy. Coach, as I look through and speaking on the topic of your schedule and having an extremely challenging schedule, half your opponents were ranked teams. And that coupled with the fact that you were underclass heavy, what were some positive takeaways? What were some bright spots specific to the development of your team this year that you think will carry over into the offseason and into prepping for next year?
Well, if you look at the first half of all of our games, we were right there. I mean, we played against BYU, who's ranked number 1 in the country right now and is undefeated and really hasn't had a close game. I think we were probably the closest or second closest game that they played all year. We're at a 2-goal, 1-goal game at halftime with them. And, because of our experience, I felt like we just couldn't battle and stay consistent in the second half. Did the same thing against Colorado. It was a 1-goal game midway through the 4th quarter. Colorado's a top 10 team. Cal Poly's a top 20 team. We're within 1 or 2 goals at halftime with them. San Diego State's a top 10 team. We're within 2 goals at halftime. Chapman's a top 5 team. We're within 2 goals at halftime with them. So, we showed that we can play with anybody. Like I said, I think our inexperience showed this season. I really think, our ceiling of a team this year because of our inexperience was really a 6-5, 7-4 type team. Now, we didn't quite reach that. We dropped a couple of games. I think we should have maybe been a little bit tighter in at the end and given us a better chance to win. But like I said, especially with our hard schedule that we had, having that type of record, a 4-7 record with a top 5 schedule, probably when it's all said and done at the end of the year, says something about our young guys. Where I feel like if we had, a 20 to 30 top schedule type thing, I think we could have easily been 8-3, 9-2 type of team. But that's just the type of schedule that we play here at GCU. We want to play the best teams that we possibly can every single year. We want to have one of the top schedules, and we want to play a very competitive opponent and really test ourselves each week.
Well, there you have it. Coach Jeff Guy, Grand Canyon University men's club lacrosse program here on the Varsity Sports Show. Coach, good luck as you head into the offseason. We look forward to circling back with you and providing more coverage next year.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Tyler Hautala Ben Munaweera. We are featuring throughout the morning. We're out at the Arizona Wings Festival at Peoria's Centennial Park, and we're joined by one of the amazing vendors here, Angelique from Pokey Bracelets. Angelique, how are you?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Vince.
So let me ask you this question. What is a bracelet company doing at the Arizona Wings Festival?
Well, the Arizona Fried Chicken and Ice Cream Festival is more than just for food. It is for Asian food and anime as well.
Wow, okay.
So we are not exactly anime, but we do make handmade gemstone bracelets inspired by Pokemon, so it's kind of in the same vein.
Yeah, and that's like a big thing among the teen crowd, I think. I'm an older guy, so you help me educate me. What is the big draw?
Oh, sure. Well, actually, I think it does appeal to all age groups, and
All
especially 90s kids, I would like to say.
Okay.
So if you think about our business like a chocolate factory, I'm really just an Oompa Loompa.
Wow.
Wonka is actually my boyfriend, Thomas, who designs and creates all of these bracelets.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about it is it's kind of like subtle nerd fashion.
Yeah.
But if you're into Pokemon and you know what it is, it's kind of recognizable to you.
How long have you guys been doing this?
We have been doing this for just under 2 years and vending in person for about 1 year now.
Very nice. Have you done any like Comic-Con events? Those are huge.
I think we might be in the market for LA Comic-Con, which is
Yeah.
going to be really exciting. And other than that, I mean, we are trying to expand across Arizona, but also nationwide, so we'll see where we go from here.
Are you from here?
Yes, we are local. We are based in Tempe, Arizona.
How can people find out more if they can't make it out today?
Well, if you can't make it out today, we'd be really bummed to not see your beautiful faces, but you can find us on Instagram at pokey.bracelets or pokebracelets.com.
I think we just found a new co-host, too. So, Angelique from Pokey Bracelets, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for being here. A lot of fun. Thanks for coming over. Some of these vendors are a little gun-shy.
Oh, yeah.
I've been going up to them saying, hey, come on over. And they, yeah. But thank you for coming over. And thank Thomas for sparing you for a few minutes. I know you guys are starting to get busy over there. So
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me. If you guys can come, we would love to see your beautiful faces. Just make sure you bring some sunscreen and a hat, and you can get 50% off admission if you use the code SUPPORTLOCAL.
Wow. Okay, there you have it. All right. Thank you so much, Angelique, Pokey Bracelets. We're going to transition now to our next segments delivered by our very own Ella Wolter-Sanchez and Mason Collins. Take it away, Aaron. Oh, okay. Well, then we will transition to our very own Tyler and Ben. Tyler, we were going to. Did we already talk about the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft?
Yeah, so we did. So we talked about the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft. A lot of controversy behind the number 4 pick of the NFL draft, which so happens to be the Arizona Cardinals. There's been a lot of talks, about the Cardinals maybe trading down their pick, maybe picking up Marvin Harrison. There's been a lot of talks. I know the Broncos have been wanting to trade down with the Cardinals, throwing in cornerback Patrick Surtain. They've also added that the Vikings want to give us 3 first-round picks, but the general manager Monty Ossenfort, I think he's pretty stubborn on where he wants to be with this draft, and he wants more to get out of that trade for the 4th pick. So me and Ben were talking about this before the show, and there's a lot of things in regards to that 4th pick. And Ben, I don't know if you have any information that you want to give for the 4th round pick.
Well, there's a glaring need on that Arizona roster right now, and I think everyone and their mother knows it's the wide receiver position.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
And when you still have your guy, Kyler Murray, coming back, he finished the year pretty strong. Now he'll have a full offseason of rest, new regime, new coach, new GM, as you mentioned. Why not go get the best skill position player available?
Awesome. Let's run it. Go ahead, Aaron.
What's up? This is Ella Wolter-Sanchez from Arcadia High School, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. With women's sports finally getting the spotlight they deserve at this moment, the inspiring stories are coming to light more and more. This week's inspiring story takes us to a high school in the Valley, Horizon High School, which is a public high school located in Scottsdale, Arizona. On their baseball team, a freshman is already starting off her high school career by making history. Chloe McKendry is a 9th grader at Horizon High School who is the first female to make her high school's baseball team. A prestigious take for any girl, but especially one just entering high school. But Chloe isn't unfamiliar to the game of baseball. She has been playing with her twin brother Eitan since they were 7 years old. She never once dipped into playing softball, always baseball, and always with Eitan. She plays infield and also pitches. In an interview with Arizona's Family, she talked about the extra satisfaction she found in striking out people since they don't expect to be struck out by a girl. Luckily, she has a great group of teammates who don't find it weird that she's on their team. They find her as one of theirs. Her coaches and teammates described her as hardworking, the first to arrive at practice, and the last to leave. Unfortunately, she does face criticism from other players on other teams, but she doesn't let it get to her with her strength and her support from her brother, teammates, family, and overall baseball community. The last girl to try out was in 2003, but didn't make the team. Chloe hopes to inspire other girls like herself that you are able to get out of your comfort zone, do what you love, and not let anyone tell you otherwise. As far as Chloe's future, she has plans to continue in the ranks of baseball. Let's hope we see her break some other records in the future. For the Varsity Sports Show, this is Ella Wolter-Sanchez, signing off.
I'm Mason Collins, here to talk about what's been going on out in Tempe, Arizona, with spring football getting started for the Sun Devils. Finishing the season 3-9 in consecutive seasons, the Sun Devils are hoping that the worst is behind them and brighter days are around the corner. According to 247 Sports, the Sun Devils have 23 transfers, which is tied for fourth most this offseason. Dillingham believes that he can bring in raw talent from the transfer portal and build the program in the fastest way. In his second season as head coach of the team, former Oregon offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham is looking to build from a few positives off of last season. One of those positives is running back Cam Scaturro. Scaturro was the team's leading rusher with 783 rushing yards and adding a little below 300 yards receiving. Dillingham has preached that this team was going to run the ball hard and run it aggressively in between the tackles. In addition to Scaturro, the Devils have added to Carlos Brooks from California and Rayleek Brown from USC. It will be interesting to see what exactly Arizona State's offense will look like on the field this year. But Marcus Arroyo will take charge in his first year at ASU's offensive coordinator. Another new addition to the coaching staff was former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward. During his NFL days, Ward racked up over 12,000 yards and caught 1,000 passes with 85 touchdowns. With plenty of new additions to the player roster and coaching staff, the Devils will head into their first year in the Big 12 Conference with many questions to be determined throughout the season. With Varsity Sports, I'm Mason Collins.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, my name is Michael Beal from Costa Mesa, California, and I'm the only person other than Vince that got the honor of wearing his high school Letterman jacket. And you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
It's time for Sun Devil Lacrosse Talk with ASU lacrosse coach Taryn Van Thof on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
All right, guys, time for the ASU Sun Devil Women's Lacrosse segment with Coach Taryn Van Thof. Coach, you came back from your road trip in Denver and really gave them all you could there in that first half, and obviously things got a little away from you in the third quarter. But how did you come away feeling overall from the game over the weekend?
It was good to see fight. I think we saw it in different moments in different quarters, that we have it, that we know we're, able to compete in those moments. And now it's really, putting together full 4 quarters.
Some good things that came out of this game. You got to look at some different players, some different combinations, and you did something that was a little surprising, but you did it with the idea that you wanted to kind of shake things up a little bit, and you pulled your goalkeeper, Katie Valley, for a little while, and you who'd you bring in at that point? Sarah Flobeck.
Yep, our freshman goalkeeper, Sarah Flobeck, and she was a phenomenal spark. She came in and made 3 saves back to back to back, and really kickstarted us into that fourth quarter, which we then ended up tying the fourth.
The and in terms of some defensive stands, like you said, who else kind of was a bit of a spark for you defensively?
Yeah, I think Keely Cleland played solid on the defensive end, owning her 1v1s, and just kind of a presence all over the field. And Kira Buer popped in from us off the bench and saw some great success in her 1v1s and her team defense and lockdown. We had her lock down a player or two, and so it was really good to see people stepping up in moments that were high intensity and getting some time and getting some looks and finding some success.
You've got 2 big ones coming up to close out the regular season, and then we have to start talking about the Pac-12 tournament in L.A. Right at the start of May. So before we get there, we got to finish here. What can you tell us about Oregon coming up today?
Yeah, I mean, they're a feisty team. They're going to get it and go. I don't think there's a slow button in Oregon's playbook. So for us, it's being ready and continuously ready off the draw, through transition, in our settled sets, and making sure, we're playing together, but playing aggressive and assertive.
All right, there you have it. Coach Taryn Van Thof, ASU Women's Lacrosse, here on the Varsity Sports Show. Coach, good luck this afternoon, noon, out at Oregon in Eugene. Have a safe trip, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Forks up.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Tyler Hautala Ben Munaweera, live from the Arizona Wings Festival here in Peoria's Centennial Park, about 85th Drive, 85th Avenue, north of Olive. Come on out, guys. The event started about 24 minutes ago, and it's going to go all day till 4 p.m. Don't worry if it seems a little warm. There's a lot of shaded areas here. There's a lot of food vendors here. There's other, as we refer to as tchotchkes, that you can look into, and trinkets and things, as you heard from Pokey Bracelets, Angelique. You've got Off the Hook with Southern-style food here. We've got a bunch of other stuff. We've got Jasper's Island Fusion Cuisine. We've got the Lulu Sorbetto, China's Asian Fusion Grill. We have, what else do we have? My gosh, we got Big Nate's, and Big Nate is over there grilling. We're going to go over there and grab some lunch. We've got some ice, frozen ice vendors here. We've got cold iced tea here. We've got Ice Cafe here, Bonsai Boys, Tambayan, just all kinds of food and fun and different vendors that are here. And this event, they want to make this an annual event. It took a little bit of a break, and now it's back, and it's only a one-day event. It's not going to be here tomorrow. So if you're going to come out and you want to sample some amazing foods and wings, come on out today out at Peoria Centennial Park off of 85th Avenue north of Olive. We're here till 11. I'm here with Tyler and Ben. We are doing the show live until 11 a.m., but the event is going to run all day. And if you tell them at the gate, I love wings, they're going to let you in free. So you can use that money that you saved on admission and apply it towards some amazing smorgasbord of food. You paid, didn't you? You didn't know. You can go back probably and tell them, I love wings, and ask for your money back. Or, and just tell them you're going to use the money toward the vendors. There's a gentleman sitting here that didn't know to use. See, you got to listen to the show. We've been on since 9. Anyway, guys, stick around. We've got more amazing content from our talented team. We got Diego Fernandez giving us a report. He's out of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, one of our amazing broadcast interns. He's going to do a little NAIA beach volleyball, and our very own Tyler Hautala, who happens to be sitting to my left, is going to talk some U of A football. Stick around, guys. We are here. We're going to be here. Come on down, say hi, and Aaron, take it away.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another segment of Varsity Sports Show from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas with Diego Fernandez. Arizona has plenty of talent from the NAIA, whether it be football, basketball, or even baseball. But what about beach volleyball? You heard it right. Ottawa University dominates in beach volleyball when it comes to this team success of the Spirits. Not only were the Spirits #1 in conference, but they took care of business in Huntington Beach, California with a #3 Arizona Christian along with #8 Vanguard. This fantastic tournament performance could be the factor to take them all the way to the national NAIA championship and raise a trophy and banner for Ottawa University. Regardless if they make it or not, with key players such as Olivia Anders and Matea Wilson, it's safe to say that this young squad will dominate not only on the court, but in the stands as well. From Varsity Sports Show, this is Diego Fernandez.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in this morning to the Varsity Sports Show. This is Tyler Hautala from Grand Canyon University reporting in Phoenix, Arizona. The University of Arizona's football program finished last season ranking 11th in the AP poll, the highest since the 1998 season, and with a ton of potential going into this season. That is until head coach Jed Fish went on to sign with the Washington Huskies, accepting a 7-year contract paying close to $8 million annually. With the vacancy in coaching staff, the Wildcats turned to San Jose State head coach Brett Brennan, signing him to a 5-year contract paying $3.5 million annually. Unfortunately for Wildcat fans, because Fish left, the transfer portal reopened for players to transfer out of Arizona. Because of this, 20 athletes had transferred elsewhere, with half of them going to Washington following Jed Fish. While a lot of players did leave to go elsewhere, some big-name players showed their loyalty to the Wildcats and decided to stick around with the team. Players like senior defensive back Gunnar Maldonado, senior defensive back Traden Stoops, and redshirt junior defensive back Dalton Johnson, who all made pretty big impacts on the defensive side of the ball, while offensively, Pac-12 freshman offensive player of the year redshirt sophomore quarterback Noah Fifita and junior wide receiver Tetsuroa McMillan have all announced that they will be returning this season under Coach Brennan. The University of Arizona currently has their spring football practice underway, with the conclusion of it being played next Saturday at 6 p.m. during their annual Red vs. Blue spring game scrimmage to showcase what Arizona has in store for next season. The Wildcats kick off the regular season September 7th against Northern Arizona University as they lead the Pac-12 conference and join the Big 12 conference for the first time since 1978. This is Tyler Hautala from Grand Canyon University, bringing you the latest from the University of Arizona's football program here on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Ben Munaweera here, joined by my fellow intern and Tyler Hautala out here in Peoria, Arizona in the West Valley, here at Centennial Park here for the AZ Wing Festival. Tyler, we were talking about it a little bit earlier before the break. Draft coming next week. Most people are calling it the most exciting draft in recent memory. Why would you say that is happening?
You know, you look at the draft this year, and from years prior, you know who's going to get picked at what spot, and it's just kind of that thing where it's like you know what to expect. But this draft, it's very much uncertain what teams are going to pick what players. I mean, the first 5 picks, you pretty much know who's going to go where, but after that, it's pretty much a toss-up for who could go where. I mean, even past the 3rd pick, where there's so much talk about who could be going to the Cardinals, who could be trading up with the Cardinals, and just stuff like that. So it's a very exciting draft to see who gets picked by what team this year.
Exactly, and in previous drafts, especially in 21, it was very defensive heavy, and last year we kind of saw the rise of that offensive talent coming into the league, and this year it's exponentially grown off of that. So lots of teams that are like playoff contenders, picking late in these like early to late 20s, might get over aggressive with some of these teams in the middle of the first round that want to build capital. Teams like Buffalo and Jacksonville that want to go get receivers after they lost theirs. So I just think that there's lots of flexibility in this draft for trade downs, trade ups, big names, and in all that chaos, all these great defenders are going to start falling into the early second round.
Yeah, and going back to the NFL Combine that happened last month, we saw Xavier Worthy break the 40-yard dash record, and things like that can affect players, how they fall, how they rise in the draft and stuff like that. And you were just talking about teams being aggressive, pursuing players in the draft, and we could see that a lot, especially like you said with the Buffalo Bills losing both Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis this offseason. And thinking of stuff like that, it's just very much exciting to see how the teams will transform going into this next season and who they might pick up and who might be future stars and who will be backup players for certain players, and who will make this change and what players will get stolen from the draft and be the biggest steal of the draft and stuff like that.
Absolutely. It's never a dull moment in an NFL draft. I'm excited, and I hope everyone else is.
And you're a Seahawks fan, so who are you hoping to get for your pick?
I think we need O-line. That would be the pick.
All right, so we are currently here at the AZ Wing Festival at Peoria Centennial Park. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be talking with the Mountain View softball head coach, Fernando Lopez.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi, this is former NBA All-Star and coach Doug Collins, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
All right, guys, we are joined by Mountain View Toros softball coach Fernando Lopez. Coach, you've been on a bit of a run lately and have had some big wins for your team. And right now, you're sitting basically near the top of the standings. Things are looking good for you. What's your opinion, beyond the wins and losses, how the team has developed over the course of this season?
I can tell you the team has come together as of late. Believing in the system, working together as a team to get the wins, making adjustments, game in, game out, just doing what we have to do and playing our Toro softball game to come up with some big wins, right? The season's not over, and we're looking to finish this strong.
As you look ahead, and at the time of our broadcast, you guys are right in the middle of a game against McClintock. But looking ahead over the next couple of days, and as the postseason kind of gets formed, do you have some idea generally where you might see yourselves and maybe a handful of possible opponents?
Oh, definitely. I'm keeping an eye on the list and what's happening day to day, and what's left in the schedule for, all the teams that are within those standings. So definitely looking at who we may match up against. But right now, our main focus is just finishing out the season strong, playing our game, and let all that stuff play itself out. I always talk to the team and tell them, let's control what's in our control right now. And right now, that's all we can do. And once all said and done, whoever we match up against, we're going to prepare and we're going to go to battle.
Who? And two more questions, Coach, for you. Number one, who's pretty much been, maybe a small handful of specific players on your roster that have delivered for you throughout the season, and anybody on the roster in particular been a nice surprise that has stepped up that maybe you knew was going to ultimately get the job done for you, but they've stepped up in a big way a little earlier than you anticipated.
Well, I can tell you, Keely Goodman, right? Keely Goodman is at the top of the list. She comes in to play, to practice hard, and it's showing out there on these big games, right? She's been really consistent with the batting over 500 for basically the entire season. And she's only a sophomore, so coming from a season where she only got 30 at bats to doubling that plus some this season, she is hitting really well, and I expect her to keep it there the rest of the season. Brinley Benjamin's our senior. She's we expected her to produce this year. Kylan Sylvester, she is our sophomore. Another one who probably started the season off a little slower than she anticipated, but she has got going, and she is just hitting the ball hard and having fun. Our regular role players, are coming in doing their thing, but a couple freshmen, right? If you want to talk about surprises, a couple freshmen have surprised me this season. Not that I didn't know they were capable of playing the game at this level, but just as a freshman coming in playing against players 4 years older than you, that would be Dylan Davis and Tiara Metcalf. Tiara's the 6A state football champ for Toros, and she's just making some noise, and it's hard to take her out of the game. She is to me a utility player. She could play outfield, she could play second base, she could play third base. Wherever we ask her to be, she does it, and she does it with a happy face and just wants to play the game.
Wow, so it's players like that make us great coaches, right?
That's right.
Coach Fernando Lopez, Mountain View Toros softball coach, good luck the rest of the way in getting through the regular season, and then the eyes are on the postseason and how things lay out there. So good luck, and thanks again for allowing us to cover you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS 1060 AM Arizona. I'm here with Ben at the Arizona Wing Festival in Peoria Centennial Park. So is this your first time you've ever been to an Arizona Wings Festival?
Yeah, I think so.
So he's here with me, Ben, but we're here with a guest. His name is Matthew. So Matthew, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm actually American Ninja Warrior.
Really?
Yeah, I am.
How does that process work for someone your age?
Well, you got to practice and do all that other type of stuff. It's like parkour, and all types of that other stuff.
Do you play any other sports?
I used to play baseball.
Used to? Why not anymore?
Well, season's over. Then I decided to do an American Ninja Warrior.
So how long have you been on the American Ninja Warriors for?
I think about 6 years.
Oh wow, that's impressive, especially for how young you are. You must be really athletically built for all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
And you mentioned you're in middle school. When you get to high school, are there any other sports you're interested in playing?
I think I might be doing cross country.
Cross country?
Yeah.
Nice. So you're here at the Arizona Wing Festival with your family. Is there who in your family did you bring with you today?
I brought my cousin Jocelyn, my sister McKenna, my dad, my mom, and my big sister Sydney.
So you brought all these people. They didn't bring you?
No, they brought me.
So you have any favorite food here? Have you guys eaten anything yet?
Yes, I have. My mom said my head was going to explode, probably because I absolutely love road ice cream, so I already had some.
Road ice cream, what's your favorite flavor?
I had the mint chocolate chip cookie one.
Man, that actually sounds really good.
It does. So have you tried any of the wings here so far?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Are you planning on trying any of the wings?
No,
here
not
so
really.
far?
I'm
just here for the ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that.
Well, with the weather getting a little warmer, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
True.
So, you said you're a part of the American Ninja Warriors.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point?
So I was really inspired by every single one. I watched the TV show all the time. So my big sister Sydney actually once was on the show, but she never got to be on there before. Yeah.
So the whole family's somewhat involved with American Ninja Warriors.
Yes.
Wow, that's really impressive.
So what is that training process like? I know it's like parkour and other athletic training exercises,
Yes.
but can you give us like an example of like what a regular day of practicing that looks like?
So regular day of practicing, so my practice, we always do like conditioning and all types of other stuff, workouts. So we would do a lap around the gym. And then we would practice the course, and we would go on, and then we would have competitions some days at different gyms.
Nice. So with the American Ninja Warriors, are you going into the new season of American Ninja Warriors?
No. Right, I haven't even been on the show because right when I was about to go on American Ninja Warrior Junior, I needed to get a vaccine.
Okay.
So that was 12-year-old Matthew here with his family full of ninjas. And Matthew, any final word you want to say before we go to break?
No, not really, but thank you so much.
All right, cool. That was Matthew. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Varsity Sports Show here at the Arizona Wings Festival here in Peoria, Arizona.
Yeah.
Go Varsity.
Go Varsity.
Hello everyone, Quentin Wilson here from UNLV bringing you the latest from the Varsity Sports Show. Now, week 3 of the Women's National Football Conference regular season is in full swing and there's plenty of action to dissect. But first, let's talk about a game-changing announcement. The WNFC has just sealed a monumental 5-year broadcasting deal with The Zone for both women's tackle and flag football. The Zone is stepping up big time, offering 2 tackle football games per week, including playoffs, the 9 Cup weekend, and all flag football matchups, and it's all free until the 2028 season. Now, this is a huge step forward for the league, as the league has been growing year by year since 2019, since it was founded. It really shows the competitiveness with women in this sport and really just showing that they can do it just as well as the men can. Now let's start with a team that's been nothing short of spectacular, the Texas Elite Spartans. They're off to a blistering 2-0 start and are riding high on a jaw-dropping 33-game win streak. Tara Thomas is carving up defenses, leading the league in rushing yards with an impressive 257 on just 34 carries, along with 2 touchdowns. And let's not overlook their starting QB, Satoria Bell, who's lighting up the stat sheet, ranking in the top 5 for passing yards with 159 on 18 completions. Now looking ahead to some marquee matchups for this week, we've got the Elite Spartans facing off against the equally formidable Mississippi Panthers, both boasting unblemished 2-0 records and sitting tied for first in the Central Division. Over in the Pacific Division, the San Diego Rebellion are asserting their dominance with a flawless 2-0 record, steamrolling past their opponents. They're gearing up for their next challenge against the Seattle Majestics. Meanwhile, it's been a rough start for the Las Vegas Silver Stars, languishing at the bottom of the Pacific Division with an 0-2 record. However, Adriana Gutierrez has been a force to be reckoned with, ranking 3rd in the league in rushing yards with an impressive 175 and 2 touchdowns to her name. And let's not forget Jamie Brand, who's making waves as well, sitting 4th in receiving yards with 89 off 8 receptions. With the bye week in store, the Silver Stars are regrouping and gearing up to come back stronger in week 4. In the Atlantic Division, the Atlanta Phoenix are soaring high with a flawless 2-0 record. Their defense has emerged as the cornerstone of this team's success, holding opponents scoreless throughout the first 2 weeks of football and claiming the top spot in the league for defense. Atlanta's impenetrable defense sets the stage for their upcoming showdown as they prepare to defend their home turf against the Florida Avengers. Thanks for tuning in, folks. This is Quentin Wilson signing off.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, Vince Delicio, Tyler Hautala, and Ben Munaweera out at the Arizona Wings Festival in Peoria's Centennial Park, right around 85th Drive, I think like 9875, North 85th Drive, so around Olive, north of Olive. Amazing event, a lot of fun. We just had, little Matthew over here, who's not so little. The guy's an American Ninja Warrior, for gosh sakes. I just saw him because he was jumping around all of the seating here. It's off of the stage, and I thought, you know what? I'd love to take that energy and see what he could do with a headset on. He did a pretty good job, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, at 12 years old, I can't imagine practicing all that parkour training and conditioning, so props to him.
When I think of parkour, I think of that episode of The Office when they were doing all this stuff, the parkour, and they jumped into the dumpster. Anyway, guys, come on out. The event is running until 4 o'clock today. They've got all kinds of vendors here selling all kinds of things, from food. We see a lot of people eating and other trinkets and tchotchkes and other things happening here. A lot of good stuff, and you can't. This is really, truly a nice event for a Saturday morning. Come on out, or a Saturday afternoon. It's running until 4 o'clock. Don't worry about the heat because there's plenty of shaded areas here, and there's ice vendors here, ice cream, frozen ice, all kinds of good stuff. So it's not just hot food. You can get your entree and you can get dessert all in one fell swoop. When we come back from the break, we are going to have a feature on Castile High School boys volleyball from our very own Adam Small out of the University of Arizona. Guys, really enjoy all of the content from our amazing team. These folks have worked extremely hard this semester, and we'll be coming up on the end here in the next few weeks. So stay with us here on the Varsity Sports Show. We got another segment to go, and then we are wrapping for the day. We'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Food. Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is mail, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
This is Conrad Hamilton, head football coach at Desert Mountain High School. You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2023 and 24. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alicio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests, Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
This is Adam Small with Varsity Sports, reporting on Castile, the boys' high school volleyball team in Arizona. Currently, led by head coach Ryan Main, Castile is 28-6-1, with an overall ranking of 5th in the state of Arizona and 61st nationally. They are competing for first place in the Arizona Conference, 5A. 5A classes stand for the middle enrollment schools that include 1,000 or more. They'll be changing conferences to 6A, which has higher top-tier teams as soon as next season. As of right now, Castile leads the Santan section with an undefeated record of 7-0. Currently, some players on the team, such as Hayden Hurley, a 6-foot senior who is a setter, which sets up assists, leads all of Arizona with 498 assists, as well as 18th in the nation. Brody Hurst, a junior, a middle blocker, ranks 3rd in Arizona in total blocks and 10th in hitting percentage. Layton Bluth, a libero, also known as a defensive specialist, ranks 4th in digs in Arizona and 25th in the nation. Castile has currently 3 more remaining games in the regular season before the playoffs. Thursday versus Williams Field, who is ranked 2nd behind them in their region, is starred as the most pivotal game left. This is Adam Small reporting for Varsity Sports.
Back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince D'Alicio live out at the Arizona Wings Festival in Peoria, Centennial Park. joined by our very own out of Grand Canyon University, Tyler Hautala, and ASU's Ben Munaweera. And we are joined on the line by one of our other valuable broadcast team members all the way from Gainesville, Florida, the University of Florida. His name is David Lopez, and he's got a report for us on Desert Mountain High School here in Scottsdale. David.
Thank you, Vince. I just wanted to report live about a basketball phenom out of Desert Mountain High School in Scottsdale, like you said. His name is Javon Bardwell. He's a shooting guard, small forward, standing at 6'4", and he's just 16 right now, but he's already a coveted prospect from the class of 2027. Just looking at his stats for this season, Javon averaged almost 15 points and 6 rebounds and a steal and a half per game as a freshman on a Desert Mountain Wolves team that went 21-8. And these stats were good enough for Bardwell to be third-team All-American for the class of 2027, alongside other state championship winners and other draft prospects. So he's in good company right now. He took no time to settle in his freshman year, really picked it up in the second half of the season, even having 39 points and 15 rebounds in a win over the Horizon Huskies in February. And he had 26 points in a win over Canyon View in the quarters of the Arizona Open State Championship. Javon is an ultra-athletic playmaker for this Wolves team that was not really contending much in the playoffs prior to 2023, but now with Bardwell leading the way, Desert Mountain ended the season ranked the number 8 basketball team in the state of Arizona and number 3 in Arizona Division 5A. He also stars for the Rocksteady AAU team in Scottsdale. And in the 3 years that Bardwell has left at Desert Mountain, it looks like Javon and his teammate Caden House, who also averaged 24 points per game, could become a dynamic duo that leads Desert Mountain back to state championship contention. With one All-American selection already behind him, it looks like Bardwell is going to be one of the most heavily recruited prospects out of Arizona and a sure bet to be playing Division I basketball in 3 years' time. He's got plenty of time to grow as a player and fill out his 6'4" frame while already being an incredible scorer. So I don't see why Bardwell can't be one of the first Desert Mountain alumni to step foot on an NBA court.
Incredible story, David. So I just got to ask you out here in Peoria, how did you get interested in Bardwell's story?
Well, I was just checking out the All-American teams on Max Preps for all the different years that just came out last week. And it stuck out to me that the school that really hadn't been contending much now had 2 players on All-American teams within 2 seasons. And so Bardwell stuck out to me because he was 15 this season, showing out as a freshman.
Well, that's all the time we have for you. Thank you, Dave Lopez, for tuning in to the show and giving us the information with what's going on in Gainesville, Florida, out in Desert Mountain High School. Thank you for your time, and we'll be cutting to the final word very shortly.
David, I wanted to thank you. Great job this semester, particularly uncovering a lot of gems and things going on in the state of Arizona. So nice work, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Vince.
All right.
Time for Vince's final word.
Wow. Well, we are coming up on the end of a show here. Another Varsity Sports Show. And thank you so much to, first of all, to Jason here with the Arizona Wings Festival in giving us a platform, allowing us to come out and promote all the great things happening here in the community. Once again, folks, come on out to Peoria's Centennial Park, 85th Drive, and just north of Olive. For the Arizona Wings Festival. There's a lot more than wings here. There's a bunch of different vendors selling not just food but other types of things. It's a great community gathering. It's only running one day today. It's going to go until 4 p.m. this afternoon. If it feels like it's getting a little warm out, don't worry about it because there is a lot of shade and a lot of frozen ice to take advantage of to other vendors. And the restrooms were very clean. That's a very important thing for me is having clean restrooms. So the restrooms here were clean. I want to take time out to thank Tyler, Ben. You did an amazing job. You guys have co-hosted the show in the past. Starting with Ben Munaweera. Ben, tell us about your experience this semester in being a part of the team.
I think it's been a really great time, especially because not a lot of opportunities are out there that really give you hands-on experience multiple times a week and whenever you want it. And that's something that you gave us an opportunity to do, not just with camera work, but broadcast work, producing radio segments on a weekly and writing for that. So you gave us an opportunity to create content and help create content for broadcast in all different kinds of ways.
What do you want to do?
Someday I hope to be in some kind of studio work and being a sports anchor or maybe color commentary.
I'll tell you what, being in a studio really it beats everything else. We do that once in a while, but I like getting out in the community and really, promoting all the good things happening out there. And we're out here promoting this event for our audience, and hopefully some of you listening can come out, particularly if you're in the Northwest Valley, come out here. They're here until 4 o'clock. Fun event. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good food, and a lot of nice people. I haven't met anybody that hasn't had anything except a smile on their face today. Tyler, what about you? What's been your experience this semester?
Yeah, all good things. I mean, going off what Ben said, just getting us prepared for going into the field of communications, whether it be working cameras, working colors, directing, like all that fun stuff. A lot of things go into preparation for games like this, and just seeing the inside how everything works was a really great experience for the internship that we've had. And I know me and Ben have worked together multiple games and multiple radio shows together, and it's just building that strong relationship that we get with other interns as well.
Well, time management and multitasking and meeting deadlines are also a big part of this, as with any field that you go into work-wise, but particularly in media, because if you submit something late, it's old news at that point, right? You also have to know how to pivot if there is a big story. If you're working on something and all of a sudden something else breaks, the news doesn't stop. You got to pivot, and you've got to cover that event, put what you're working on aside, and start working on the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and getting it in. And that's what this business is all about. The people that know how to juggle are the ones that end up many times being very successful and having a very long career in this industry. So you guys have definitely done a great job. Tyler from Grand Canyon University, Ben from ASU, done a great job. And over the next few weeks, we'll be featuring more of your work, and then we'll be saying sayonara, and you guys are on to the next challenge. What are those challenges? What's the next thing coming up for you, Tyler? You're going to be graduating here in a week?
Yeah, and actually this Friday. One of the big challenges for me is just, I've been a busy person all my life and just having that free time. So it's just trying to find things to get used to and find stuff to do for my interest to help what I want to go to in my career, and hopefully end up starting a podcast revolving around the NFL, because that's just something that I've always been interested in. And I know you mentioned on the show, me and Ben talked about NFL for hours and hours beforehand, but that's just something that I've always been into with growing up as a kid. But
You are very passionate about the National Football League. I give you that credit, and there's a lot to report on, a lot of good stories. Sometimes there's some not so good stories of things that happen, but that's just the way it is. It's in every industry that you find things and uncover things, and you peel an onion back and you kind of see something maybe that wasn't what you wanted to see, but that's just how it is. And as journalists, we're not biased. You have to just deliver the news and let the audience figure out for themselves whether they're going to like it or not. Ben, next semester, what do you got?
Well, before that, I'm going to go home in the summer and enjoy sunny California.
Your son is Southern California guy, yeah.
Yeah, but then as I come back next fall, I'll be entering the final year of my collegiate career here at ASU. And then after that, just trying to keep all options open. And I think just to kind of touch base on what I said to you earlier is that my experience, not just at ASU, but just with you as well, is to just kind of dabble my toes in every single aspect of this industry, because you can come into it wanting to do one thing, and then you leave and you have a whole other idea after that.
So once again, folks, thank you to today's live guests. Jason from AZ Wings Festival, Thunderbird baseball coach Mike Jacobs, Saguaro baseball coach Joe Muecke, Florida Gators Varsity Sports Show intern David Lopez. Please be sure and check out all of our archived content on Twitter or X at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thanks to our producer Aaron Decker. And join us back here next Saturday at 9 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. And we're on in Houston tomorrow, 7 to 8 a.m. Pacific. Go Varsity. Vince, out. Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here from the Varsity Sports Show. We are so excited and honored that you start your weekends off with us. Our team is comprised of very talented high school and college students working toward a future in media. We appreciate your support, and any opportunities that we can to promote your teams or businesses will go a long way toward helping us continue supporting our talented team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and we use our platform to not only promote all of the great things happening in the world of sports locally and nationally, but also continue to promote and encourage future broadcasters as they grow in this industry. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to the Varsity Media Foundation. To find out more, please email us at info@varsitysportshow.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Varsity Sports Show or on Twitter at Varsity Show. Once again, thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now a nationally syndicated program on the Sports Map Radio Network. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.